Hello everyone, this is Dr. N. Himavarshini working as an assistant professor at SR University. Today we are going to deal with one grammar topic, that is clauses. So before going to go through this particular topic, we'll see the foundation of understanding clauses. So before going to know about clauses, let's see what is the definition of a sentence first. Because to understand clauses, knowing about what is the definition of a sentence and what is the structure of a sentence and what is a phrase, these things are important. So let's see what is the definition of a sentence. So if you can see, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. That means if you are having one subject plus verb and if it is giving complete meaning, then you can consider that as a sentence. For example, if you see, she is reading a book. Okay, so if you see over here, you can take she as a subject and is as the helping verb, reading as a main verb, and it is giving complete sense. So it is considered as a particular sentence. So she is reading a book, and another sentence is the children are playing outside. Here also, if you can see, the children is a subject of this particular sentence and the playing is the main verb, and we are getting complete sense. So you can say that this is a sentence, right? So in this sentence, the sentence may be having a phrase. What is a phrase? Phrase is nothing but it always gives additional information in the particular sentence. For example, if you ask where is Chaitra, so you can say that Chaitra is studying. So Chaitra is studying is complete sentence. But if you say Chaitra is studying in the classroom, here in the classroom is additional information that you are giving to the particular sentence. That sentence is Chaitra is studying. So in this way, a phrase is considered as a group of words without a subject and a finite verb, and it does not express a complete thought, but it gives additional information in the sentence. So this is considered as a phrase. Now we understand what is a sentence. A sentence is group of words that expresses complete thought, and a phrase is also group of words, but it is not having a subject and a finite verb, and it does not express complete thought, but it gives additional information in the sentence. Now let's see what is a clause. If you can see, clause is a group of related words that contains at least one subject and one verb and is used as a sentence or part of sentence. So if you can see, what is a clause, it is group of words, and sometimes it gives complete sense and sometimes it will act as a part of sentence. So when a clause has complete meaning on its own, it can be used as a sentence. But when it is incomplete meaning, it is used as a part of the sentence. For example, if you can see, he is a news reporter. So in this, we are having the subject, and as well we are having the verb, as well as it is giving complete sense. So we can take this as a complete sentence. And if you see one more example, that is she loves music. In this sentence also, this also acting as a sentence because it is also giving complete sense. And if you can see where he stays, so where he stays is acting like a part of sentence, not the complete sentence. Like you can say, I don't know where he stays. So I don't know is a complete sense because I don't know. You are giving or expressing with complete sense. So I don't know is a complete sentence, and where he stays is acting as a part of sentence. And who lives next to my house? So I don't know who lives next to my house. This is also acting as a part of sentence and not a complete sentence. So in this way, if you can see, a clause acts as sometimes a complete sentence and sometimes as a part of sentence. Now we see types of clauses. So if you can see what are the types of clauses, there are two types of clauses. One is independent clause. It is also called as main clause. And another one is dependent clause. It is also called as subordinate clause. So here if you see what is independent clause, independent clause is also called as main clause or principal clause, and independent clause always acts as a sentence because it stands on its own. And when coming to dependent clause, it is also called as subclause or subordinate clause, and it always require other sentence to complete, to give complete sense in the sentence. So we'll see how these independent clause and dependent clause acts as. If you can see the independent clause, an independent clause has a subject and a verb and can stand alone as a sentence. If you can see independent, what is independence? Independent means acting on its own, right? So in the same way, independent clause is also act as a complete sentence because it will be having subject and verb and it gives complete sense. For example, if you can see they work in marketing department. So this is giving complete sense. They is a subject and work in marketing department. This is giving complete sense. So you can take this as independent clause or a complete sentence. What products are they going to launch this year? This is also giving complete sense. The company did not perform well last year. What shall we do? If you see all these sentences are considered as independent clauses because they are having a subject and a verb and they are giving complete sense, right? So now we'll see what is dependent clause. Dependent clause is nothing but it is a clause that has a subject and a predicate, but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. So even though it is having subject and predicate. So for example, though it was raining. So if I say though it was raining. So in this sentence, if you see it was raining. So there is like subject is there and predicate is there, though it was raining, but it is not giving complete sense. Why is it not giving complete sense? Because if I say though it was raining, then you will ask, then what happened next? So if I say like though it was raining, we came to college. Okay, so we came to college is giving complete sense, but though it was raining is not giving complete sense even though it is having a subject and a predicate. So that is what is called as dependent clause. So in these dependent clauses there are three types of dependent clauses, or you can say subordinate clauses. Those three types are noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Now let's see what is this noun clause, adjective clause, adverb clause, and how they act as. Okay. So if you can see a noun clause, what is a noun clause is, it is a subordinate clause and it is used as a noun. So here if you can see what you have proposed is acceptable. Here what you have proposed is acting as a noun and it is considered as a noun clause. What you have proposed is acceptable. And tell me what your marketing strategies are. Here also tell me. So tell me is like it is giving complete sense, and what your marketing strategies are is it is like noun clause. So in these sentences noun clauses are acting as noun, and this noun clause sometimes come as a subject and sometimes it acts as object, direct object also. So this is the role of noun clause. So if you can see noun clauses beginning with question words. So how they start with question words we will see. So if you can see if you ask direct question like what do you do in class, this is a direct question. And if you change the sentence pattern, sometimes it is like noun clause like what we do in class is easy. So you can ask a question like what is easy. So what is easy? what we do in class is easy. So it noun classes sometimes they start with question words, and like if you can see, where does he work, this is the regular question, and where he works is a secret. So here you can ask like one question, what is a secret? What is a secret? The secret is like where he works is a secret. So here where he works is acting as a noun clause. And if you can see, what should I do? So I don't know what you should do. So what you don't know, I don't know like what you should do. So this is also acting as noun clause. Who are they? Mary knows who they are. What Mary knows? Mary knows who they are. And what happened? She knows what happened. What she knows? She knows what happened. So noun clauses begin with question words sometimes. Okay. And next, if you can see, noun clauses beginning with whether or if and that. So if you can see, I wonder if it will rain tomorrow. So what you wonder? I wonder if it will rain tomorrow. Or I wonder if it will rain tomorrow or not. So in this way, the noun clauses start with, begin with whether or if, and sometimes it is also, they also start with that. That pollution affects the quality of our lives is obvious. So in this particular sentence, it is acting as a subject. It is acting as a subject. Like that pollution affects the quality of our lives. What is obvious? That is obvious that pollution affects the quality of our lives is obvious. And next one is like it is obvious that pollution affects the quality of our lives. In this particular sentence, it is acting as a object. So noun clauses can act as a subject in the sentence, and they can act as an object in the sentence. So this is about noun clauses, and let's see how we have to identify the noun clauses. If you can see this particular sentence, okay, so what is that particular sentence? I believe that he is innocent. So what you believe over here in this sentence? I believe. What you believe? That he is innocent. That he is innocent. And next, if you can see, what she said made everyone laugh. So what made everyone laugh? What she said made everyone laugh. So this is the noun class. In the same way, if you can see, the teacher asked why I was absent. So what teacher asked? So the teacher asked why I was absent. So if you can see in this way, this why I was absent is like noun clause, right? And next one is like, do you know where he works? So in this particular sentence, where he works is acting as a noun clause. And next one, whoever finishes first will win the prize. So who will win the prize? Whoever finishes first will win the prize. This is acting as a noun clause. And next, if you can see the other sentence, I cannot understand how they solved the issue. So what you cannot understand? I cannot understand how they solved the issue. So here, how they solved the issue is acting as noun clause. Next one is like that she passed the exam pleased her parents. What pleased her parents? That she passed the exam pleased her parents. And next one is like, please tell me what you need. So please tell me what you want to tell me. So you just tell me what you need. So this is acting as a noun clause. And next one is like, we discussed who should attend the meeting. So what we discussed? We discussed like who should attend the meeting. Next one. She wondered whether he would come. What she wondered? She wondered like whether he would come. She wondered, right? Next one, what you did was unacceptable. So what is unacceptable? So what is unacceptable? What you did is unacceptable. I know why she left early. So what you know? You know why she left early. And next one, the manager explained how the project failed. So what the manager explained? He explained how the project failed, right? And next one, if you see, whoever told you this was mistaken. So what was mistaken? Or who was mistaken? Whoever told you this was mistaken. Next one, can you guess what he wants? So here also what he wants is acting as a noun clause. So in this manner you can identify with the help of asking what. By asking what you can understand where is the noun clause in a particular sentence. Next one is like adjective clause. So if you can see what is an adjective clause, an adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun. So if you can see, if you go back to the recapitulation of parts of speech, so what is the duty of an adjective? An adjective always modifies the noun or pronoun, right? In the same way, an adjective clause is a subordinate clause and it modifies a noun or pronoun. So it is like majorly focusing on the reasons and the causes, like that it will be focused on, right? If you can see, the man who is standing over there is a product development manager. So here if you can see, the man is the noun in that particular sentence, and here adjective clause is like who is standing over there. Okay, so who is standing over there is giving additional information to the noun, the man. It is giving that it is modifying the noun, right? So he is a product development manager. In this manner you can identify adjective clause. His team has come up with products that have more features for customers. So in this way you can understand adjective clause, that adjective clauses modifies a noun or a pronoun. So here, if you can see the adjective clauses, so adjective clauses, as we are discussing, like adjective clauses are also like dependent clauses or subordinate clauses. So they start with adjective clauses start with like sometimes relative pronouns like who, which, and whose, whom, and that, right? So here in this particular slide, I have highlighted the relative pronouns which acting as the dependent clauses or adjective clauses and their usage and the examples. We'll see the relative pronoun who, the usage is like it is used as a subject or object pronoun for people. Like for example, if you see the student here, the student is, what is this student over here? The student is like subject, and who scored highest? Here who scored highest, it is like it is giving additional information or it is modifying the student, right? So the student received a scholarship, but here it is giving additional information and it is modifying the noun who scored highest. So this is how this adjective clause works as the student who scored highest received a scholarship. And now if you can see which, so if you see which, it is used for animals and things, like it may be subject or object. So here the book, which book, which I borrowed is very useful. So here it is acting as an adjective clause. And next, sometimes this which also refers to the whole sentence. It adds extra information like she missed the deadline, okay, which disappointed the team. So which disappointed the team is giving additional information to this complete sentence. That sentence is like she missed the deadline. And next one is whose. It whose shows about possession for people, animals, or things. So the girl whose project one is very talented. Which girl is talented? The girl whose project one. That means it is acting as an adjective clause and it is modifying the noun the girl. The girl whose project one is very talented. Next one, whom. So whom, the usage of whom is like object pronoun for people in the formal usages. The candidate whom they selected is well qualified. So which candidate is well qualified? Whom they selected is very well qualified. So this is the adjective clause. And next one is that. That is used for people, animals, and things in defining clauses. Like the course that you entered is highly practical. Okay, so which course is highly practical? That you entered is highly practical. So this is what is about adjective clauses. So in the adjective clauses, we have again two types, like one is defining and another one is non-defining. So this is also like called as restrictive and non-restrictive clauses. And what is the duty of restrictive clause is it gives essential information that defines the noun. So whatever information in the sentence and which is essential that defines the noun is given by this restrictive or defining clause. And if you can see, the sentence meaning is incomplete without this clause. So the restrictive clauses gives essential information. So without this restrictive clause, the sentence meaning is incomplete. Okay, so whenever you are using these restrictive clauses, there is no commas. Okay, and uses are like who, that, which, and commonly that is used more. And examples, if you can see, the student who scored highest won a prize. So you can see the student won a prize, but here there will be ambiguity like which student. So to answer that question, you can take the help of who scored highest. And if you use this who scored highest, it is essential information for this particular noun so that we can clearly understand which student won a prize. And next one, the book that you gave me is helpful. So the book is helpful is complete sentence. But which book? There is a probability of a question. So if you can see, that you gave me is helpful is giving complete or essential information in this particular sentence. And next one, the teacher who teaches us English is very supportive. So here also this is essential information because you can say the teacher is very supportive, but again we can ask a question like which teacher. So this is essential information in this particular sentence, right? So coming to this non-restrictive or non-defining, so it gives additional information about the noun. And when this restrictive is giving essential information, this non-restrictive is gives additional information about the noun, and the sentence meaning is complete even without this clause. So even though you are not using this non-restrictive, you can get complete sense or complete meaning of the sentence. And commas are used whenever you are using these clauses. And if you can see the examples, my brother who lives in Mumbai is an engineer. So here actually this who lives in Mumbai is not necessary because you can directly say my brother is an engineer. But here you are adding additional information like who lives in Mumbai, saying that the place of your brother's residence, right? So here also the car is mine. So the car is mine is good enough, but you are giving additional information like which is parked outside. So this is in this sentence, this is giving additional information. So in this manner you can see the difference between restrictive and non-restrictive adjective clauses. Now we'll see how to identify the adjective clauses. So you can identify the adjective clauses like, for example, the girl who is singing is my cousin. So here you can say the girl is my cousin. The girl is a subject and is my cousin is giving complete sense. But here you want to give essential information like who is singing. So you can identify the adjective clause like this. And next one is like, I bought a book that explains grammar clearly. So here in this sentence you can say that that explains grammar clearly. So which book I bought? I bought a book that explains grammar clearly. So if you see this third sentence, the house where I was born is very old. So here also you can identify where I was born. And next one, students who work hard will succeed. So who will succeed? Who work hard. Here also this is adjective clause. The man whose wallet was stolen went to the police station. So here also you can say whose wallet was stolen. And next one is, this is a restaurant where we had dinner yesterday. So where we had dinner yesterday is adjective clause. So in the same way, the movie that we watched last night was interesting. So here also that we watched last night. And next, the teacher who teaches English is absent today. So here also who teaches English, and I know the reason why she is upset. So here also why she is upset. So in this manner you can identify the adjective clauses. So this is one more slide explaining about how to identify adjective clauses. Here also you can see the boy. So the adjective clause is like who won the race. And next one is like the dress that she wore looked beautiful. So that she wore, okay. The village where my grandparents live is peaceful. So here also where my grandparents live. So next one, the player who scored the goal became famous. So here also who scored the goal. So in this manner, if you read all these sentences, you can understand how to identify these adjective clauses, right? And next we will see what is adverb clause. So what is adverb clause? An adverb clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a verb. So here also if you go back to your parts of speech, you can understand. So what is the role of an adverb? So in a sentence, so adverb clause modifies a verb in the same manner like adverb. Okay. And it also modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb itself. And it tells when, where, how, why, to what extent, or under what conditions the sentence is expressed. So in this way you can see. So if you can see the examples, if the products are fit for the customers, we will maintain sales increase of 10%. Here adverb clause, like here it is like it is saying under what conditions we will maintain, like if the products are fit for the customers, in this in this exact condition only we will maintain sales increase of 10 percentage. So in this manner, you can identify adverb clause. There will be some promotion when the new products are available. When there will be some promotion when the new products are available. So in this way, you have to identify adverb clauses. We'll see the adverb clauses and what type of questions they answer. Okay, so the type of adverb clause is like place. So the questions answers are like where. So if you can see where there is determination, there is success. So where means like when you will get success, we will get the success only if there is determination. So in this manner you can understand how to identify the adverb clauses like when, the time. Okay, after the class ends we will discuss the project. When we will discuss the project? After the class ends, right? And reason also like why. She stayed home. Why she stayed home? Because she was unwell. So this question answered will like why she is at home, like she was unwell. And what was the reason? So purpose also is explained in the adverb clauses. He studied hard so that he could pass. Why he studied hard? What was the reason? The reason was like he could pass. And concession, like why is it unexpected? So although she was tired, she worked. So though she is tired, she worked means why that is unexpected and she worked, right? So under what condition? So if you practice regularly, you will improve. So under what condition you will improve? Only under one condition, that is if you practice regularly. And next, if you can see the kind of clauses like time and cause and effect, like common conjunctions used in adverb clauses or in the dependent clauses are like common conjunctions are like after, before, when, while. And what is the function of these common conjunctions? They are used to show when something happens. She was very young when her father died. So here it is like this common conjunction when is used, and what is the function over here? It is used to show when something happened. So when her father died, what was her age? She was very young. Like another common conjunctions are like as soon as, since, until. And what is the function of these? It refers to a period of time or sequence of events, right? So as soon as the lecture ended, the sequence of events like students left the hall. And another conjunctions like by the time, once, as long as, and whenever. It shows about the duration or repeated time references. Like whenever he speaks, everyone listens carefully. Like it shows about the repeated time references. And another common conjunctions are like every time, the first time, the last time, the next time. It emphasizes specific occurrences in time. The first time I presented, I felt nervous, right? So cause and effect means something happened because of something, right? So the common conjunctions are like because, now that, and since. So it indicates reason. And in a present and future context, like I did not argue because I wanted peace. Okay, why I did not argue? Because I wanted peace. So used to mean because in the formal and academic senses. So based on these functions and these common conjunctions, we can identify the adverb clauses. So here some more conjunctions are like contrast. And in the contrast also direct contrast and condition. So contrast like even though, although, though. So this the function is like it shows unexpected or surprising results. And like even though I wasn't tired, I went to bed. Like it is a surprising result. Like usually when I am tired, I go to bed. Or but this time, even though I wasn't tired, I went to bed. And it shows direct contrast like while and whereas in the formal context, like show direct contrast between two ideas. So Mary is rich while John is poor. So here we are taking two different ideas and two different contrasting ideas, and we are taking the help of the common conjunctions like while and whereas. And conditions like it shows a possible situation and its result. If it rains tomorrow, I will take an umbrella. The possible situation. So only if it rains tomorrow, then only I will take an umbrella, right? And some are like whether or not, show that the result does not depend on the condition. And in case, in the event that, show a precaution or unlikely situation. So I will attend the meeting whether or not you come. So here we are saying like the result does not depend on the condition, but it happens. So these are the roles of common conjunctions in the adverbial, that means in the dependent clauses. And how to identify these adverb clauses? If you can see, though she is young, she is very responsible. So here she is very responsible is a complete sentence. It is giving complete sense. But coming to this, though she is young, so here we are getting a question mark, right? What is that question mark? Though she is young, what she did? She is very responsible. So though she is young is contrast and it is an adverb clause. I will call you when I reach home. So I will call you, this is giving complete sense. But when I reach home, again it is like question mark. So if you can see, when I reach home is time, and it is like giving a subordinate clause when I reach home. So this is adverb clause. In the same way, as the weather was pleasant, we went for a walk. So here, why you went for a walk, it is giving a reason. The reason is like as the weather was pleasant. Okay. And next one, you can stay here until your father comes. So here also, until your father comes, this is adverb clause. It says about time. And even if he apologizes, I will not trust him. I will not trust him is complete sense and complete sentence. And here, even if he apologizes, so condition, it is saying or speaking about condition. And next, if you see, the baby cried because it was hungry. So why the baby cried? Reason is like because it was hungry, and this is adverb clause. And next one is like before you leave the room, switch off the lights. So here, before you leave the room. And next sentence is like, whenever I see her, she smiles at me. So she smiles at me is complete sense. But here, if you can see, whenever I see her, so it is saying about time. And next one is, he spoke softly so that nobody could hear him. So that nobody could hear him is purpose, and he spoke softly is giving complete sense. So you can identify this is dependent clause and it is adverb clause. If it rains tomorrow, this is what is condition, the match will be postponed. This is complete sentence and you can take this as dependent clause, and this dependent clause is adverb clause. In this manner you can identify or search for these kind of reasons or conditions or time or purpose, so that you can identify what is adverb clause. And some more examples are here. So if you can see, I stayed at home because it was raining. So why you stayed at home, it is giving complete sense. And because it was raining is like subordinate clause or dependent clause. So it is saying about reason. And when the teacher entered the class, the students became silent. So when the teacher entered the class is saying about time, and it is saying about adverb clause. If you study regularly, you will score good marks. So if you study regularly is the condition. Although he was tired, he completed the work. So although he was tired, she worked hard so that she could achieve success. So that she could achieve success is dependent clause. So you can take this as purpose, and it is adverb clause. We will start the meeting after the principal arrives. So this is saying about the time. And since I was late, I missed the bus. So since I was late, this is the reason. And wherever he goes, he makes new friend. So wherever he goes, place. Unless you practice daily, so this is condition, unless you practice daily you cannot improve your English. While the children were playing is time, it started to rain. So in this manner you can identify adverb clauses. By this I hope you have understood about clauses and types of clauses and the usage of clauses. Thank you and all the best.